Dear students and dear colleague, convey my best regards and pranam to the coordinate Geeta Mamji and and science communicator group Anil Kumar Tripathi ji sir, science communicator group. I am Krishnendu De, assistant teacher of Kanchannagar Diendas High School, and it is in Purba Bardhaman. Today, I am presenting my tribute, my pranam to our great astrophysicist, Indian, moreover Bengali, Dr. Meghnad Saha. Before going details about the life story of Dr. Meghnad Saha, I just paying my tribute and commemorate to Dr. Meghnad Saha, and my beside my screen on blackboard, a picture was made by elder daughter. Her name is Oyonna De. He already drew the picture yesterday, and it is her tribute by drawing this picture to Dr. Meghnad Saha. And before starting, I just give him some flower or agarbati to paying my respect and commemorate to Dr. Meghnad Saha. Now I start. Today I am giving some PPT presentation and lecture on Dr. Meghnad Saha. I'm giving some information about the life story which I read throughout my life, and my little knowledge. I just paying my tribute by giving some information about the life story of Dr. Meghnad Saha. Dr. Meghnad Saha was an eminent Indian astrophysicist who gave the world the theory of ionization, which explained the origin of stellar spectra. By becoming one of the renowned scientists of his time. He was a renowned scientist of his time. Meghnad Saha came a long way from a small village. Born into a poor family, he struggled to get primary education, but the brilliant and hardworking sir never gave up and rose the heights of fame and glory through his dedication and commitment towards science. And this is very much necessary for students about their dedication and commitment towards science. And Fate also played a role in his development as a scientist, as he had the good fortune of being taught by prestigious teachers like Jagadish Chandra Bose and Prafulla Chandra Rai. He got in his life as a teacher Jesse Bose and Prafulla Chandra Rai, and such an eminent person at that time. He got his teacher Jesse Bose and P.C. Roy. He passed his college exam with honors and got a job at that time University College of Science, that is Calcutta. He started research uh, at a lab and put forward that is become now saha equation, which is used to describe chemical and physical condition in star. Meghnad Saha was born on 1893 at on 6 October, and I sharing my screen his birthplace. Now it was at that time undivided India. Now it is in Bangladesh, and the picture which I'm showing it is in Bangladesh, and it is his birthplace. Meghnad Saha was born as the fifth child, number five, of Jagannath Saha. His father's name is Jagannath Saha, and his mother's name is Bhuvaneshwari Saha. His mother's name was, and his wife also name was uh, Bhuvaneshwari Devi. His father ran a small shop, and the family was poor. He was a poor student and from poor background. His parents, due to his financial position, were not interested in education their children. His parents was very poor, uh, so he cannot afford the educational cost at that time. Meghnad Saha displayed a very keen interest in studies at that time. From a very early age, after the completion of primary education, his parents wanted him to drop studies and help in family shop, and that is very usual in our village people, in our Bengali or so-called Indian people. So he was fame at that time. He was lucky because Meghnad Saha found a good, helpful person. At that time, a lot of person was helpful, uh, and before uh, tomorrow, I got to know from an eminent ISRO scientist, was the director at the 1984. His name was Tarun Mishra, Tapon Mishra. He was Tapon Mishra. I was lucky to heard his lecture yesterday at Rotary Sadan lecture room in Kolkata, and it was a program of International Benevolent Research Foundation, and I knew from his lecture that at that time people made school, so-called. And now my time, the MLA MP is now taking their advantage in their favor. But at that time, MLA MP built school, college, hospital. I got to know, and I was very lucky to share some few minutes, some hours at a time for in my for award presentation. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Teaching Excellence Award by International Relevant Research Foundation. Just uh, just I am sharing this information. Uh, and Also Meghnad Saha found a good person, good helpful person. His name was Anant Kumar Das. Anant Kumar Das. He was a local doctor, and that's why I am sharing previous information. Uh, and Anant Kumar Das was a local doctor who agreed to sponsor the boys' education. In return, some simple chores. That is, he is doing some work for in favor on Dr. Anant Kumar Das, and in contrary, he's getting some money. After passing out of middle school, he went to Dhaka in 1905 and joined collegiate school. And now I am showing the Dhaka Collegiate School and left of my screen. That is Dhaka Collegiate School. And next, Dhaka College. He passed intermediate examination in 1911 and joined the Presidency College. That is his childhood education in Dhaka Collegiate School. And next, Presidency College, now in Calcutta, in our state, West Bengal. Uh, he met Satyendranath Bose. He was an eminent person against another eminent person, Satyendranath Bose, Asian Bose, as a classmate. And Meghnad Saha and Satyendranath Bose both became a very prominent physicist. At the college, I again mentioned that he was taught by Prafulla Chandra Rai and Jagadish Chandra Bose. He earned his BSc in mathematics in 1913, in applied physics in 1915. Just Saha, Dr. Saha was born in undivided Indian village in Dhaka district. Saha destiny was different from the rest of his siblings. After completing his primary school, the problem arose that he realized that he would travel 10 kilometers to and from the nearest secondary school every day. And seeing Saha's love for education, his elder brother Chainath stepped up and got him a sponsor for his lodging and boarding expenses. I heard that his elder brother worked in a jute mill and at that time his salary was 20 rupees, only 20 rupees, and he set aside rupees 5 for his brother, uh, Dr. Saha. He as a career, uh, just personal life, he got appointed as a lecturer in Department of Applied Mathematics in 1916, University College of Science, that is Calcutta. Also, I already mentioned his classmate Satyendranath Bose also joined in the same university, that is Calcutta University, one of the renowned university in our past time. Both Saha and Satyendranath Bose transferred to physics department when Saha started lecturing his hydrostatics, spectroscopy, thermodynamics. Along with his teaching responsibility, Saha started doing research. Just he started research, and he plunged into research through the college. At that time, college did not had an experimental research laboratory. It was an unfortunate information that experimental laboratory was absent at that time, and but it is not a burden to his such type of eminent person and great physicist, astrophysicist. In 1917, he wrote an essay on selective radiation pressure, and which was sent to Astrophysical Journal for publication, and this is his research team. Already here Dr. Saha and Dr. Bose all are present, but he could not publish in journal. But why? Because being short of funds, fund was minimum, he could not afford it. But however, short note was published in the journal, and he was awarded his Doctor of Science. He was awarded Doctor of Science from Calcutta University. In 1919, he also received scholarship, Premchand Raichand scholarship for his article. And in 1920, he published papers in astronomical research paper. He was formulated thermal ionization, which was discussed in this paper. And at that time, Premchand Raichand scholarship was a great achievement for his life. As a winner of this scholarship, he went to Europe after his research at that time, and spending some months with Alfred laboratory and Waltler laboratory at that time. He joined University of Allahabad, University of Allahabad, um, in 1923. And at the University of Allahabad, he spent at least 15 years. And at that time, he gained a lot of recognition for his works in astrophysics, and was made president of the physics of the Indian Science Congress Association, in that is, now I am sharing Indian Science Congress, Indian Association Contribution of Science, and he was president of the Physics Indian Congress Association in 1925. In 1938, he became professor of physics at the University of Kolkata, now Kolkata, at that time Calcutta. Uh, he took several initiative, that is, at that time he introduced nuclear physics in MSc syllabus of Calcutta University. In addition to being a great scientist, he was also a great institutional builder. So I can say he was an institutional builder, and he founded uh, this building, Indian Association of Cultivation of Science. Indian Association of Cultivation of Science, and in Calcutta. And he at the time also founded Indian Science News Association, and it is in 35 Indian Science News Association. And also I am attaching I also joined in this association, also Indian Science News Association. Today's our program in our RN Sen RN Auditorium, that is in Rajabaja Science College, Kolkata, and also Institution of Nuclear Physics, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics. Now I am sharing screen. He was a founder, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, and it was founded 1950. And also he was preparing plan, our Damodar DVC plan. It is a great project. It was a great project at the DVC, the Damodar Valley project, at that time. Some now I say some major works at that time. Saha biggest contribution in the field of astrophysics is the Saha ionization equation. Is the Saha ionization equation. I'm just sharing this. Saha ionization equation, which is related with ionization state of temperature and pressure. Meghnad Saha, an astrophysicist, at that time, I must mention some other scientists like C.V. Raman, Dr. C.V. Raman, Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, Ramanujam, and between 1920 and 25, 1920 and 25, Indian scientist, just Meghnad Saha, Satyendranath Bose, C.V. Raman, Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, Ramanujam made path-breaking discovery and invention that got global recognition. And that time India shows the way, showed the way. And it was a path-breaking discovery and got global recognition. And it was went to inspire many young professionals to work in the field of science. Can you imagine that? At that time, I was mentioned that no laboratory, no infrastructure, and but their valuable work went on to inspire many young professionals to work in the field of science. Saha gave the world thermal ionization equation, that is also called Saha equation. And Saha equation, in his most recognized contribution uh, in astrophysics, which is related to elements ionization state to temperature and pressure. And Saha at that time, just his life, childhood life, when a Dr. Anant Kumar Das, when agreed to give the young boy shelter in his house on condition that he helped in different work in his house, and by taking care of cows and running daily work, the eminent scientist completed his higher education. And it was a great inspiration to us that by taking care of cows and running daily work under Dr. Anant Kumar Das, and the eminent scientist Dr. Meghnad Saha completed his higher education. And his brother worked in a jute mill, and his brother Jayantnand once again came to his rescue. At the school life, he would sacrifice, that is, his brother would sacrifice rupees 5 from his monthly income, only rupees 20, to ensure that his brother did not go hungry. Such a dedication from his brother. Saha cleared his examination, different types of examination. Our Indian government at that time made a poster, made a duck ticket. Yes, it is called duck ticket, rupees 100 at that time. His professional life started as a lecturer, Department of Applied Mathematics, Calcutta University, uh, and later he joined physics department, just spectroscopy or thermodynamics. And when at, at the time of Allahabad University, after spending 15 years, he came to Calcutta University and wrote his famous book, that is, just I'm sharing screen. Wrote his famous book, that is A Treatise on Heat, and I also read in my BSc bachelor degree, and that is a very good book for mission students. A Treatise on Heat. His contribution was made him the president of Indian Science Congress Association. In 1952, that is 1952, he stood for parliamentary election. At that time, uh, he feel that it was necessary. He stood for a parliamentary election as an independent candidate, not any under any banner. As an independent candidate from Calcutta constituency, and he was on at that time. It is due to Saha effort as a member of parliament that on Indian calendar 1956, and Meghnad Saha as a one of the great Indian scientist at that time. And at that time, 1905, British government took the decision to partition Bengal. Sorry, there was great political unrest. There was great political unrest in Bengal, as popular opinion against the partition. And one day, at that time, was governor came to visit collegiate school. Meghnad Saha, it was heard that Meghnad Saha, along with his other students, boycotted his visit. Already boycotted his at that time. Governor came to collegiate school, and Meghnad Saha, along with his friends, boycotted his visit. As a result, what happened? He was suspended from the school and passed the entrance examination after Calcutta University, and standing fast at that time. He was such a type of students, and also obtaining highest marks in English, Bengali, and also in mathematics. Just some contribution of Meghnad Saha is great. He had a great mastery over nuclear physics, spectrochemistry, and kinematics, ionosphere. His scientific knowledge is fully expressed in explaining the theory of ion, which is known as Saha theory of thermal ionization. Meghnad Saha tried his best to cultivate science culture in our country. It was very much it is laudable that Meghnad Saha tried his best to cultivate scientific culture in his country. Being a member of parliament, he demanded a favorable atmosphere to encourage the aspirant scientist. So he was a man of modern science of India, and he was a founder. He was a founder of uh, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, and were established with his support. He had an expert knowledge in Damodar Valley Corporation. He has an expert knowledge. Damodar Valley Corporation, and he was at that time architect. He was the architect of Damodar Valley project. And what was that project? Now, Saha, uh, at that time, Saha was deeply concerned with disaster flood in many Indian rivers, and the extensive damage of the floods in North Bengal prompted APC Rai, Acharya Prafulya Chandra Rai, to organize a relief operation under the under the aegis of North Bengal. And Dr. Roy, was able to collect a large fund from public, and it was heard that he was assisted by Subhash Chandra Bose, Meghnad Saha, Satish Chandra Dasgupta was also eminent Bengali person. And it was while carrying out relief work Saha got the first-hand experience of devastating power of floods. Saha wrote his experience in newspaper and also in magazines. And presidential address Indian Science Congress, he drew specific attention and caused by the floods. And And the floods in Bengal isolated Kolkata from the rest of India. Saha wrote extensively on this issue. Saha writings and speeches made the government realize the gravity of the situation. And as a result, Damodar Valley Inquiry Committee came into force in 1943. At that time, 1943, and the committee was chaired by the Maharaja of Bardhaman, and it was a big story that at that time my birthplace is in Bardhaman, and I also heard the name of the king. At that time, it is called Maharaja. So Maharaja of Bardhaman was the chairperson of the under the chairperson of this committee. Damodar Valley Inquiry Committee was formed. And it was a very much proud of that time that and it was mentioned in the pages of history, Maharaja of Bardhaman, for his excellent good job. Saha presented a plan handling how to handle Damodar Valley River Committee and also extensively river control based on modern science and technology. And he used the modern science and technology at that time. Uh, he used modern science and technology. Now, today's at that time, now I feel how people are beneficiary from science and technology. Today's I we also think and feel very much. Saha ionization equation. Now Saha it mentioned that is now I mention that Saha equation, that is mathematically relationship between the spectra of stars and their temperature. Spectra of spectra of stars. He invented an instrument to measure the weight and pressure of solar ray. He expressed how the ionization of a particular element in star with varying temperature and pressure. The spectrum is directly related to number of atoms and ions. And thermal ionization, also known as surface ionization, thermal ionization that is very much helpful importance. Saha's studies of thermal ionization of elements led him to formulate what is known as Saha equation. And this equation is one of the basic tool for interpretation of the spectra of stars in astrophysics. By studying the spectra of various stars, one can find their temperature, and from that, using Saha's equation, determine the ionization state of various elements making up the stars. And this work was soon extended by Fowler and Edward Arthur Milne, already mentioned in my slide. Now, I'm now sharing some information about Meghnad Saha achievement. The great astronomical scientist of Indian, Meghnad Sahaji, made a significant contribution in the field of astronomy and physicist. In the astronomy and physicist, and in view of merit, government of India made a contribution him as a chairman of committee uh, in different reforms in India. That is in various committee in different states and religion. Saha contributed an astronomical science by rendering the equation established Indian Association of Cultivation of Science, Indian Association of Cultivation of Science, Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, also another Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, Meghnad Saha important role theory of thermal ionization, and also different research conducted under his guidance. Now I mention some awards at that time, which was conferred by Meghnad Saha. Meghnad Sahaji was awarded many great awards for his significant contribution in the field of astronomy. He was appointed as a fellow of Royal Asiatic Society of London. He was fellow Royal Asiatic Society of London. Uh, Royal Asiatic Society of London, and to honor and recognize his research scholar who have made a significant research contribution and in a period of years, and efforts have marked an impact on the advancement of society. And at that time, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Allahabad, has instituted Meghnad Saha Award for Best Research Scholar. Along Meghnad Saha Research Scholar Award at that time, and Meghnad Saha some line, some sentence. Meghnad Saha already quoted. Just I mentioned, and at that time, it was, "I have no appetite. I have no appetite, not for food, not for work, not for anything. I looked at her and wondered what I am except for appetite. My luck is getting oats and oats. Last night, for instance, I was mugged by a Quaker, not numbering and counting, but ripening like a tree. Some weakness begged to be seized, and just I mention some important quotes by Daulat Singh Kothari. Daulat Singh Kothari said about Dr. Saha, he was a man of undaunted spirit, resolute determination, untiring energy and dedication. And also great astrophysicist Jayant Nalikar. And Jayant Nalikar paid his tribute to Saha years after stating Saha ionization equation. It was a major achievement in 20th century, which already worth not less, but I say greater than a Nobel Prize. And Jayant Nalikar said about Meghnad Saha's ionization equation, which opened the door to stellar astrophysics, was one of the top 10 achievements of 20th century Indian science, and could be considered in the Nobel Prize class. Already I mentioned in my slide. Uh, it was by uh, Jayant Nalikar. He was also a great astrophysicist. And I have heard a some another story about Saha school life. How Saha was a fan of Rabindranath Tagore, was of the great poet and Nobel Prize winner, and also wrote the novel Gitanjali, also proud feel for. our Nobel Prize Bengali writer poem. And what is I have mentioned is a great man from our land. And Saha's equation favorite subject was not only mathematics or physics. He was also fan of history. Was at that time he was fond of reading. And at that time, Rajasthan, different story book. He was fascinated of tales of Rajput and Maratha warriors, and in his favorite books was Rabindranath Tagore's Katha o Kahini. It was in Bengali book, Katha o Kahini. If you have a time, you can also read in our Bengali, also already translated to Hindi, English by different person. So if you have a time, you must read Katha o Kahini, already mentioned by Dr. Saha, which glorifies the values of Rajput and Maratha warrior, and also Madhusudan Datto. He was a great history person in our Bengali. Madhusudan Datto was a great poem writer. His poem was Meghnad Both. Meghnad Both, that is poetry, was written by Madhusudan Datto, Meghnad Both. Also, our Dr. Saha already read and got some energy from these books. During his school days, Saha also attended free Bible classes. And that at that time, Dhaka mission was Baptist, controlled by Baptist, and Saha attended free Bible mission class, and also he stood first in the competitive examinations of Bible conducted by the Dhaka mission, and received a cash prize of rupees 100 at that time. 100 rupees got at that time by uh, Dr. Saha. Uh, just before I conclusion, some story books, some books that was written by Meghnad Saha. I just mentioned that books. Just a few minutes. Um, I'm just calling up some books that was written by Meghnad Saha. And I must mention books written by Meghnad Saha. It was Principle of Relativity with S.N. Bose, Satyendranath Bose, Calcutta University, Kolkata, 1920. It was a translation of Einstein's papers on theory of relativity. And next, I already mentioned great book, Treatise on Heat with B.N. Srivastava, Indian Press, Allahabad. It was 1931. And junior textbooks on heat with B.N. Srivastava, again, Indian Press, Allahabad, 1932. And Treatise on Modern Physics, Volume 1, with N.K. Saha. N.K. Saha, Indian Press, Allahabad, 1934, and My Experience in Soviet Russia, Bookman, Calcutta, 1947. Now, I the sad news sharing with you that such a great person we lost. Bengali lost such a previous 100 years. Um, I already searching such a great man from our Bengali person. Just I am sharing this news that he died of a heart attack in 1956. That is a sad news for us, for a Bengali people and Bengali person. Just before conclusion, through my little knowledge, I'm sharing about something on Dr. Meghnad Saha, paying my respect tribute to Dr. Saha. And last of all, thank you those persons who are sharing your time with me for peaceful hearing, and I convey my regards and pronouns to Anil Kumar Tripathi ji sir and Geeta madam for giving me an opportunity to sharing something about Dr. Saha and give their valuable time and consideration of time. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. Just I'm ending my session. Thank you.